Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Stay in Your Lane. I'm Mark.
And I'm Marty. Welcome back for those that are rejoining us for another episode of our show.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. Please, first and foremost, like and subscribe to our channel. And we're going to dive right into a casual conversation on sober living.
Yeah, today we talked about this, and a little bit of our introduction on our other show is about um, kind of what led us to our addictive behaviors. And one of mine was that I worked so many hours in a position of authority where I had, uh, you know, uh, many teammates that reported to me. And after work on Friday, I felt as though I deserved a reward and for all the time that I put in and all the hurdles that I overcame throughout the week. And I'd reward myself with alcohol, and then that led up to drugs, meth, cocaine. And why I did that is so that I could stay up more hours and enjoy myself more after a long week. And then now that I was just thinking about it the other day, after all these years, I was like, wait a minute, that totally, that was a delusion because I would be able to stay up late on Friday and maybe sleep in on Saturday, and then do it all again Saturday night, and then lose all of Sunday. And so I wasn't really gaining any time at all.
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. And when we briefly discussed this being such a great topic for the show, I made a note and I wrote down time equals presence. And for me, I know in my sober journey, what I have found is I'm so much more present in whatever I'm doing. And I think in our addicted state, we're craving more time. We might be staying up late, but we're wasting days in recovery from the hangovers, from being exhausted both emotionally and physically, that we're not present at that time at all. So it's such an interesting concept, isn't it?
That brings up, yeah, because that's a great point because that is exactly, not only are you not present, when you're actually there consuming, but you're also not present in the moments that are real life with family and friends the next day because you're secretly trying to recover, right,
Right.
from your behavior. So yeah, you're not. That's a great point, Mark. I mean that cascades into not being there for the other stuff that really has some good value.
Oh, right. And whether your drug of choice was alcohol or coke or meth or whatever it was, I know for me, if I was feeling super hungover and I had a family event or a friend function, the easiest way for me to feel present was to start drinking again. So, again, I think that's where you start to see some of the vicious cycle happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, matter of fact, we were going to talk about that. In my therapy, um, we talked about the cycle, and so that was kind of a good segue. Is that as time passes, after you feel bad on Monday, you feel awful on Tuesday, while you're trying to recover from your partying, and then by Wednesday you're feeling better somewhat. Thursday you're back on good track. By Friday, you're like, yeah, you know what? It wasn't that bad. And you get back into the same reward system for yourself.
Right, exactly. And I would beg to argue the point too that many people, because I can speak from my personal experience, I started feeling so good on Tuesday or Wednesday that that's when my desire to hit happy hour again started because I was feeling so good. So my cycle was a lot shorter than just waiting for the weekend. As soon as I started feeling better, I would reward myself into putting myself right back out there and then starting it over.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it's just, but there's still that cycle. There's that cyclical uh, system to it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, as a society where Monday through Friday is our busy time, and then we want to reward ourselves and unplug on the weekends, I think depending on how you're feeling, and really no matter how you're feeling, the weekends you give yourself permission to do whatever you are going to do to escape, unwind, unplug, party, whatever it might be.
That's so true. Yeah, I mean, in it's interesting also, like, not only do your behaviors become a pattern, but also a lot of your relationships and friendships become a pattern that support your addiction. Um,
Yes.
you know, you get you align yourself with other people that are doing that same thing. When I was going to my therapist, one of the big things he says is that, Marty, you probably think that everybody else is doing this as well, and he's like, only 10% of the world consumes all the alcohol. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh. So he's like, you know, you're you're part of a group that's only 10%. There's a whole nother world out there if you start to put yourself in that world.
Yes, I 100% agree. I think of the horse and carriage rides that I see around downtown areas around our country, and the horses always have blinders on. And I think that it's such a good parallel in my, drinking days. I certainly had blinders on to all the other life that was happening out there. And I was only putting myself in situations, where alcohol was involved.
Yeah, it just it's interesting how our behaviors become so supportive of our addiction, and it just is it really is a lifestyle. And it's just like it's amazing how the things that you go to and to support that lifestyle. Um,
Absolutely.
and on the flip side, like where we are now, there's healthy things to support a healthy lifestyle. So it's just the flip of the coin, like just I applaud you, Mark, on your daily meditations, your commitment to your calendar, and all that stuff is healthy behavior.
Correct. Yes. And it's interesting because I think it becomes at a subconscious level when we keep ourselves in our addicted routine because
Yeah,
it's comfortable and it's easy. So yeah, this whole time concept is really fascinating.
you I'm not correcting you, but I don't think that substance abuse is easy uh at all. I think it's familiar, but I don't think that it's easy because there's a lot of harsh reality to it.
Well,
Um,
that's a really good point.
you know, it like we talked about on other shows, is that easy is alcohol, where we or cigarettes or sugar, that stuff is easy to get to. I can remember waiting for the drug dealer to come over for hours, or trying to find somebody in so in the sustainment of substance abuse is not easy at all.
True.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a
Uh,
great point, and I think until you're on the other side of it, it was not clear to me at all how much time, energy, focus, money I was putting into the addiction. And so when you look at all the components that have gone into upkeeping and maintaining that lifestyle, you're 100% right. It's not easy at all. It's a
yeah.
full-time job.
And as you just gave me an idea for another show, is that the money that is invested in sustaining your addiction, that's totally another show, isn't it?
Oh my
I
gosh, yes. I talk to a lot of potential clients in my coaching business that if you do just a simple, comparison of how much money you're spending on entertainment, whether that be alcohol or drugs, and compare that to the cost of investing in yourself with a coaching program like my post addiction transformation coaching, it's easy to come up with the money when you look at how much you're spending on the other stuff.
It's so true. I was just thinking, like, I'll go to the grocery store now and I'll look and I'll be like, oh, grapes are 3.99 a pound. oh my God, I don't want to spend $3.99 a pound on grapes, but I spend $7.50 on a vodka diet
Yeah,
in
and not even
order
think twice about it, and not even
in
think
order
twice
10
about
of
where
them.
the money's coming from.
Right?
Yes,
Just a
yes.
total different way of looking at it, you know? It's it is interesting.
Yeah, it really is. Well, I love this whole concept of time. And I think in sober journeys, and I can imagine a lot of people feel the same way, to be living sober, you have a lot more healthy time. You're much more present in everything that you're doing. And I'm so grateful for that in my journey.
Yeah, and I agree with, I mean, every bit of that, like we've talked about, is that time is the most precious commodity that we have. And now sober living, I look at all the things that I get done in a day, and I wonder, like, how did I ever fit in going out, partying, and then the weekly hangover time, right? Like,
Right.
how did I ever fit that in my schedule? And it's just, when it's so important to you, you do that stuff. And I think that it's realigning, your value systems, and you're when you're sustaining your sobriety, you really can look at it and be like grateful for the things that you can accomplish in a day. Or what I love about you, Mark, and what I learn from you each time, is the the value in just taking time for yourself and allowing yourself to just be, right?
Yes.
I mean, you know me, that is hard for me.
Right, absolutely. No, I'm so glad that you're disciplining yourself more to do it because you really start to feel the effects of it.
Yeah, the positive effects of it.
Right, absolutely. Well, great.
It's
This
like
was a what's that?
putting your phone on the charger at the end of the day so that it recharges, right? You're doing the same thing for yourself. You're allowing yourself downtime. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, and I don't think we're ever properly taught that. Again, we've become a society where busyness is a badge of honor. And I think we have to disconnect. We have to carve out some still time and we have to let our minds, most importantly, and our bodies physically heal.
absolutely.
Well, I think this was a fantastic show topic. And again, if you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel, we would love to have you do that. And we will be back again with another casual conversation on sober living.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. It means a lot to us that you're here, and we have a lot to share. We've been through the experience, and we want to also hear from each of you and how we can help make this show hit home for more viewers. And we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And I'll put our email address up on the show topics page. So we will look forward to seeing you on our next episode.
All right.
All right. Bye
See you soon.
bye.